Hey, how y'all doing out there? And welcome into Uncle Steve's Lounge. It is the Monday Minutia. We are glad to have you here. Gonna talk about a couple of things today. Raheem Morris' first press conference as Atlanta Falcons head coach. I didn't see Rich McKay there. Oh, I hear he was in the background. And no Arthur Blank for good reason, sounds like. And also, let's talk a little bit about Grammys yesterday. Grammy Awards. Good, bad, nah. Let's talk about it. What is going on? How y'all doing out there? This is your Uncle Steve here at Uncle Steve's Lounge, as usual, here on the Monday Minutia, here to talk about all things Falcons. And today was a new fork in the road for the Atlanta Falcons as we officially kick off the Raheem Morris era for the Atlanta Falcons, new head coach for Atlanta. We're going to talk about the press conference, things that you heard, things you may not have heard, who was lurking in the background instead of out front this time, and were any true questions asked or answered, I should say, in this presser that has been on your mind for the last couple of weeks since this hire was made. Also, we'll talk a little bit about last night's Grammy Awards. The scale to 1 to 10, I'll give it a good 7, 7, almost 7.5, even though I honestly did not know a lot of the newer stuff that was out there. I knew some of it, but I didn't know all of it. But overall, a good, entertaining show. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well. And more importantly, thank you all for joining us. Appreciate you coming in, spending your Monday with your uncle here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, and this is your first time coming through, again, where you been? But come on in, take a seat, holla at us. Gonna have some good talk about these Atlanta Falcons. Get comfortable. We'll be here for the next hour or so to see what you guys think about what was spoken about today. Again, like the channel, subscribe if you haven't already. Well, the presser started promptly at 2:00, and I was, as I'm pretty sure a lot of Atlanta Falcons fans were waiting to see who was going to be front and center for this particular press conference. It was announced very early that Arthur Blank was not there, said he had some medical things that came up. And of course, all prayers up to Arthur Blank, hoping whatever it is that is something that will not be long lasting, and hope our owner feels better. Also, not at the press conference in the front table was Rich McKay, who was sitting there so relaxed last time, but they showed a little off picture of him sitting over, watching, lurking in the back. So we had a new showing of folks up front. We had the president of the Atlanta Falcons, Greg Beatles, off to the left. To the far right, we had general manager, and we can report him found now. Terry Fontenot there talking like a general manager. Glad that he is there for this particular press conference. and I'm just glad that he finally got an opportunity to do his job or be out front for this team. And in the middle, uh, I guess they're gonna call him Coach Raw, I guess, or Coach Heem. I don't know. I think I like Raw better, but either way, new head coach Raheem Morris. Now, I was watching the feed from the Atlanta Falcons YouTube page and looking in the chat, and I was noticing how everybody, which is really weird, if you haven't, which if you're a regular football fan, I can understand you probably have, but if you're kind of new to the Falcons in the last 5 or 10 years, you're like, dude, what is up with this dude? The way he talks, the way he presents himself, the way he uh you know, just his enunciation of things, the way he got there. I kept seeing everybody talk about he had a little Denzel in him, and stuff, which he actually does. It's kind of funny to kind of look on him and see his little idiosyncrasies and things like that. He does kind of remind you of a little football, almost like we did Omar Epps with uh Mike Tomlin. I guess you could go a little bit of Junior Denzel with Raheem Morris, but folks, that's not different than the way he was with Tampa Bay. If you all you got to do is go back and look at some of the pressers that he had as a young coach, and I remember when he was with Tampa Bay, he got on my nerves because um, that Tampa Bay team was pretty competitive the first 2 years. I know he didn't have a great record, but they were always competitive with the Falcons. Yes, even Josh Freeman. Josh Freeman was a little bit of a headache sometimes with us. But I just like the way he represented himself. I've always liked the way um, he seems like he's very sure of himself, very confident. Uh, I don't know. It's a far cry from what we got. What was it, 3 years ago? This time uh, with Arthur Smith, and no hate on Arthur Smith or anything like that, but Arthur Smith did at times come across, I don't want to say disingenuine, but there was some type of uh, fake might be strong, but just a smugness to him that I think maybe I don't know whether it was the area of Atlanta that may not be able to receive all of that, but I don't know. Raheem seemed like, and he referred to Atlanta as home several times, which was very refreshing to hear. Uh, but it was good to hear his excitement, his joy, his passion. It was very refreshing. Now, all that aside, he's not going to be held to any lower standard that Arthur Smith, Dan Quinn, Mike Smith, Jim Mora, Dan Reeves. The job is to win. Now, did he win the press conference today? Absolutely, he did. Absolutely. I know everybody's talking about the little back and forth he had with Steak when Steak Shapiro from 92.9 tried to interrupt him and he kinda got back on. It was a funny moment, but just one of those moments that you say, I don't know if Arthur Smith would have been able to deal with that particular thing with a comedic point of view. Uh, but that was kind of cool. But I'm all for winning the press conference. That's great. And for the next couple of months, folks, Raheem is going to win every press conference. He's going to break you down. He's going to probably tear down some probably stiffness between what was the old coaching regime and the press. And not to say the Atlanta press is super tough, but at the same time, there are some little barriers there that you just say to yourself, maybe a better person would be able to navigate that. And I think this is where Raheem is going to come in handy. Definitely making the acknowledgement. First black head coach, permanent black head coach in Atlanta Falcons history. You cannot deny what that is. That is what it is, and it's a great thing for this city and what we do in this town. All of that aside, I still say you gotta win. Let's put it out there. You gotta win. I know a lot of people were I don't know why. In the chat, what he didn't address the quarterback situation. Actually, he did. He did address the quarterback situation. And you know what I got from the quarterback situation? You know what I got as far as what he was talking about from the quarterback position?
Raheem doesn't love Desmond.
I I think from the standpoint of, yeah, I'm Desmond Ritter. Yeah, he mentioned a couple of players today. He definitely didn't say anything about taking Ritter under his wing and reteaching him the offense. I didn't hear any of that. Now, does that say maybe there's a plan for him to learn? I don't know. But if I was coming into a team like Harbaugh did in with the Chargers, he went into the Chargers and he was like gushing over Justin Herbert. I mean, gushing. And while none of the press people in the press really hit hard about Desmond Ritter personally, but when they asked the quarterback questions, he said it clear. He said, yeah, we haven't gone deep into it, but Terry and I have talked a little bit about, you know, free agencies, trading up, drafting. He named all the things that all of us have been talking about. So what that tells me from jump is that all options are on the table. He didn't come out and say, well, if there's one thing we're going to do, we're going to get this one free agent quarterback and he's going to be our steering. It's just a matter of who. No. And it would be foolish of you on February the 5th to put that into the atmosphere anyway. You're showing your hand early. So give him credit for, and I saw people say dodge the question. I don't think he dodged the question. I think he just was honest. What people wanted him day one in the first hour of his official naming of head coach and wants to know what the plan is. And they expected Raheem to say, well, we're talking to Chicago and we're going to see if we can work something out with Washington. And no, you don't do that. It's not even wheel and deal time yet. We still got to figure out who's going to be on this roster next year. I mean, there going to be some folks. It's going to be one or two surprises that may not make this team. I say surprises, but maybe. I don't know. There are going to be some surprises that may not make this team next year. Get ready. Some of the ones we were told to be favorite, they were favorites and fans loved them. They might not be here. So get ready for that. But today, his day, his press conference, as he told State, give him credit. I give him a plus for his press conference today. Said what I think needed to be said, and made it clear that it was going to be a collaborative effort with him and Terry Fontenot. Terry Fontenot sounded more excited than I've heard him sound in a long time. So let's get it started, man. Let's get it rolling. Let's see what happens. And again, as I said before, we'll talk Falcons, but we'll also talk biggest news yesterday, Grammy Awards. Depends on what your taste is. Your taste in music. If you're a rap fan, you probably didn't get a whole lot. Shout out to Douglas High School's own Mike Render, aka Killer Mike, for picking up 3 Grammy Awards. Shout out to him. And we had Taylor Swift taking the big award of the day, Album of the Year. Not really a shot. We had Jay-Z trying to take up for his woman. I don't know why. Someone has won the most Grammys in the history of the world, but yet you're mad because she didn't win Album of the Year. I don't know what to tell you, bro. You're great, but you're not great. I don't get it. But congratulations to him. Decent performances like last night. I liked SZA. Brought her out a couple of times. I must admit, I kind of was late to the party on the Kill Bill thing. As much as they played it last year, kind of didn't get into it to the end of the year. Thought that was going to come away with some wins, but she got snubbed a little bit in the big categories. And then seeing the folks come out there, Wendy and Lisa with Annie Lennox from the Eurythmics out there singing "Nothing Compares to You," the Prince song, in honor of Sinead O'Connor. Thought that was cool. So, if anything y'all want to talk about from that particular end, and of course, this Atlanta Falcons press conference, that's what we're going to do today. Again, as y'all coming in, please make sure you like the video and please share it out if you can. We'll get this thing started. John Brooks is in the house. What's up, man? Said, to be honest, Uncle Steve, I don't know how Raheem took the questions about the quarterback situation. He danced around the question without not answering the question, dodging questions as if you were playing dodgeball. But what was he supposed to do? I mean, what questions do we want him to answer? You're not going to get all the answers in day one, John. You're not. That would be crazy for you to show your hand. Hey, Reem, this is D-Led. What are you going to do about the quarterback situation? We don't have, well, D-Led, we are going to build a culture and play musical chairs. Nah. I mean, that would be kind of crazy to show your hand today as far as quarterback concerned. Again, he acknowledged that they need a quarterback, which is crazy again, because I'm pretty sure
Raheem doesn't love Desmond.
I don't know. If your incumbent quarterback is on your roster and I'm coming in as a head coach and I know he's going to be a part of the plan, I'm probably going to mention him. But he mentioned Drake. He mentioned Bijan. Didn't mention Kyle Pitts. So, hey, man, I'll let y'all read the room. The Dixon Way, what's going on, Larry? The Dixon Way live reaction videos. Y'all make sure y'all check my buddy Larry and his beautiful wife Shonda out on their channel, The Dixon Way. I know he had a good stream the other day when the Hawks took on the Golden State Warriors. Good stuff, as always. Larry says, Coach Raw has my full confidence. I was so happy Terry took control of the presser as a GM should in spots and not Greg Beatles, a.k.a. Rich McKay stunt double. Ultimately, Coach Raw stole the show. But again, that's what you're supposed to do. It's kind of like with Terry, too. I mean, this was Coach. He said it. This is his press conference. Nobody wanted to talk to Greg Beatles. Only reason Greg Beatles is significant because people were talking about him the other week and how, well, dude, if he's the president, why is he not in the picture with Rich and Arthur? That's the only reason people didn't speak about it. But he's there today, and maybe this is the trio of faces that you're going to see going forward, which wouldn't hurt my feelings. Paul starts in the house. What's going on, brother? How you feeling? Larry says both Coach and Terry say they were looking at free agency trade options in a draft to find a quarterback. They didn't mention looking in the house, so they ain't dealing with Ritter. Don't worry about it. Probably the best way to put it. ATL Skate Man, what's going on? Said there's a light with a beam in Coach Raheem. That's pretty good. You made that rhyme. I like that. Carlos in the house. What's going on, brother? Chill Rodney here. What's up? C double in the host. What is going on, my friends? Chill Rodney said Raheem sounds like a great media darling. I hope we don't go back to the brotherhood phase. You know, and that's fair. That's fair. People are gonna want to say, yeah, he sounded great. He gave all the answers you want to hear, but brother, can you put it on the paper? My attributing the comments to my good friend John Harris of the eye test. Take it off the paper and put it on the field. So that's what I hope happens. G, what's up, sir? So I enjoyed the presser. It was definitely better than the previous presser, and I like the energy Coach Rob brought. I'm confident that he will get the Falcons in the right direction. I hope so, too. Miss Barbara's in the house. Hey, Miss Barbara, say, anyone notice Morris didn't mention Kyle Pitts? I noticed that, too. With the quarterback, he can get 1,000 yards again, especially fully healed. Barbara, I think that may be, that could be a pawn, Mr. Pitts. You never know. But And remember, y'all, we got a good little ways between now and really the start of free agency. So from now until March, that's probably why they're not. I mean, he mentioned two names who are going to be here. Drake's going to be here. Bijan's going to be here. Everybody else, it's probably a reason he didn't go too deep. Winston, the other half of the eye test. Y'all make sure y'all check the eye test out on YouTube. What is going on, brother? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. He is correct. Please, if you don't mind, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. We appreciate you. G said it was good to finally see Terry up there too. Terry was found, y'all. That was really good to see. Really good. Barbara says, Arthur Blank is 81. No one is promised tomorrow, but I know he wants to win now. 2 years to win the Super Bowl. They should trade up for a quarterback and sign a vet. Cut Taylor and cut your favorite and mine.
I love Desmond.
Desmond Ritter. Well, Desmond Ritter to the practice squad. I don't think they'll send him to the practice squad. I think he's either going to be gone or a backup, one of the two. I don't think he'll go to the practice squad. Rusty, what's going on? Rusty said the volume is low for me. Okay, then he says disregard. All right, what's going on, brother? ATL Skate Man says, hey, Uncle Steve, we need a soundbite saying we found Terry. I should have put that on there. That's something to put into the archives. Oh, man. Atlanta Dog 88, what's going on, sir? We finally got a head coach with some swagger. Absolutely right. But as much swagger as you have, will you come and get results? And this is no knock. I actually, as I told people before, this wasn't really my first choice. My first choice was Harbaugh. I thought Harbaugh would have been a nice choice. I like the hire. You can swag. You can Denzel your way through the press conference and be charming and all that good stuff. But I want wins, man. I've been fooled too many times before. Get the results on the field. Get the results on the field, we'll be good. Jill Rodney says, you're right. All he had to say was they will always remember the Titans. Y'all gonna see my man coming to the locker room. What's going on, y'all? I can't do the other part, obviously. Oh, man. Rusty says, Raheem seems like the dude you would run through a wall for, but I want to see the quarterback move and the on-the-field project. These pressers are always selling the fans the earth, the moon, and the stars. We shall see. And that's fair. But that's really what it's supposed to do, Rusty. That the reasons why they have these pressers, the reason why they have these things is because they know this is the first time you're going to see Raheem say, I am an Atlanta Falcons head coach. And first impressions are usually lasting impressions. And that's what he was there for. Rusty said Raheem ain't messing around with Dez. I told you before. If Dez was sitting there watching the presser today, he came back with one thing from this presser.
Raheem doesn't love Desmond.
He really doesn't. Demetrius in the house. What's going on, brother? Said the press conference was great, and I really liked the part where he said he's not the smartest person in the room and how to get the best person, how the best person got the job. It's so significant, Demetrius, after being with somebody who seemed like he thought he was the smartest person in the room in Arthur Smith. We heard a lot about collaborative effort. We heard a lot about bouncing stuff off each other, which is good. But I do think he is somebody who is a good person to put out in front as your leader. Demetrius says they kept trying to force an immediate answer out of Raheem, but he wasn't taking the bait. That's a smart brother. And Demetrius, he's learned. He's learned. People don't realize when he got that job, he was barely 30 years old. I think he's like 33. 33, 32, 33, 34, something in that. He was young when he got everybody talk about Sean McVay. Raheem was young when he was with Tampa. Y'all think about that. When he was with Tampa Bay, Matt, it was either Matt's second year, third year, something like that. Matt was like 2, 3 years in. So he's gotten a chance to look, figure out what we did wrong. Let's move to the next page. Let's see what's up. That's how you do it. That's the smart people do it. They take what they did in the past and learn. Our money in the house. What's up, nephew? How you doing, brother? Ease Brown is in here too. What's going on, Ease? Monty says Raheem knows how to play spades. He's not showing his hand at all. Uh-oh. That's my boy. Me and Larry on that one. Larry used to mess with me about the spades all the time. Oh man. Demetri said kept trying to force it. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what you meant. It's all good. What's going on, Berto? From 95 North Falcons Talk. Well, y'all make sure y'all check my brother out over there. He said, man, does it not feel like we were about to be graced with the best version of Raheem Morris? Yeah, and a very appreciative and as we used to say back in the day, a learned Raheem Morris. Because when you're hired that young as a head coach, I'm pretty sure he took a lot of bumps along the road. He did have the one winning season, so it's not like he doesn't know what that's like. But I think we're gonna get that version that you're talking about. I think he's gonna know a lot of things what to do. And then think about the organizations. Look, we can say all we want to about Dan Quinn, but he got a chance to be on a Super Bowl participant squad and get close to it. Then he turned around and went to the Rams and got a chance to taste the champagne. So think about the environments he was in and think about all those things he's going to learn from. And now he's able to put that into his own stable and see what happens. And he mentioned about all the guys on that 2016 staff. People are going to go back and look at that Atlanta Falcons group that was on that 16 staff and say, man, I see why y'all were a field goal away or a couple of plays away from winning. I was a stacked staff he had. Winston says, can't show your hand this early in the process. That drives up the asking price and move we want to make when free agency and the draft starts. Morris held a great and professional presser. Happy to see it. Oh, Ease Brown says, sweet. And Barbara Riddler says, I was at work during the Grammys, but stopped watching after the way they did Kendrick Lamar a few years ago. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kendrick had one of the better performances for me. He did a performance with Imagine Dragons on there that I thought was pretty good. Lisa says, hey, Lisa, how you doing? Say, I don't watch the Grammys. I just wait for the highlights to be posted. Yeah. I think now I watch because I'm just that much of a music guy. So quite honestly, again, I wasn't up on a lot of the current stuff. I've definitely heard some songs from Taylor Swift's album, definitely heard some stuff from SZA. I actually like Billie Eilish a whole lot. She's actually had some pretty couple of good albums. My daughter is a huge Olivia Rodrigo fan, so I got into her a little bit. That was a beautiful moment for those of us from a generation before to see Tracy Chapman. You got a fast car. I used to love that song. So to see her and Luke Combs get up there and do it, and for him to show the appreciation he did for her and her music was awesome. Him having the story about how he used to love that song when he was a kid. And I'm sure Tracy was like, yeah, brother, keep singing all you want to because they're publishing this real. So Sean, what's up, man? Sean says, I love when Coach Ross said he's going to let his OC and DC call plays and step in if needed. Sounds good to me. Sounds great to me. Amanda says Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and Helen Keller could see we all need a quarterback. Yeah, but again, though, Monty, it would have been bold to say, "Yeah, we're going to give a look to Ritter." Because see, this is what the guys in the press conference would do. Next time they talk to Raheem, this is what they're going to do. It's like, "Hey, man, I noticed you didn't mention Ritter last time. Says, does that mean he's gone?" I guarantee you that's going to happen in the next press conference. I guarantee you. And he's going to have to put on his face again. T-Dub, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, as y'all coming into the lounge, I see y'all creeping up in here. Thank you so much again for coming onto the Monday Minutia. Please like the video if you haven't already. Share it out to your friends. Those of you on Facebook, make sure you like the video as well. That gets this stuff around a little bit. That's what we want to do. The road to 2,000 subscriptions, y'all, on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all help the brother out. Winston said y'all saw McKay sitting off on the side. Absolutely. As he should have been. As he should have been. Facebook user says, "Hey, Unc, I haven't watched the press conference yet, but I've heard nothing but great things. But I like what I've seen from him. I like the hires. Let's see how this combine goes." Yeah, again, I had no doubt Raheem Morris was going to win the press conference. That's beautiful. That's day one. That's what you want to do. You don't want to go into the first day of a hire and somebody says, "I don't know about this Raheem guy. I'm not sure if he's the." Did you hear him? Did you what? You're not going to get any of that from him. That's great. Now, again, attributing the legendary John Harris, take it off the paper and put it on the field. That's it. And that's not. I don't think that's asking a lot. You're the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons now. Let's do it. I'll start in here again. What's going on, brother? Jared Brown in the house. What's up, Jared? So why people continue to say he danced around the quarterback question? It was the perfect answer to allow people to ponder their own ideas about what they're going to do about without showing the NFL their hand. Hashtag chess, Jared. Dude, common sense to me too, brother. I don't. And I think we were talking to John at the very beginning. Yeah, dude, you don't show anybody your hand on February 5th. For all we know, there's a master plan for the Atlanta Falcons to jump up to the number one position. They might have already figured out the draft capital or players. For all we know, there's a master plan that we're going to go 100% for Kirk Cousins. We don't know. I have no idea. For all we know, there's a master plan that we are drafted. I mean, we're going to bring Russell Wilson in here. We've already been underneath talking to Denver and draft Michael Penix as a backup. We don't know. But if you mention something today, you're going to give away the whole farm. Don't give it away. That's crazy. My brother Ryan is in the house. Ryan, the historian from the Birdcage. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Birdcage on Thursdays at 8 o'clock. Brother Ryan and K-Dub and Graybeard and Cam and Coach Brant be doing their thing over there on Thursdays. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. Say, we definitely would love to have you on soon. Gotta chop it up soon, brother. And when I'm usually watching y'all, I'm at work most of the time. But trust me, I'm gonna work my way on there. Because matter of fact, you kind of hurting my feelings. Because if y'all got the nerve to put on John Harris before me, that's kind of a little disrespectful. So I'm but no, we'll hook up, my brother. We got a lot of downtime. We'll definitely hook up with you guys, man. It's good that y'all guys are thriving over there, man. I appreciate that. That one Falcon fan said, "What's good, Unc? Falcons trying to be at HBCU. Hopefully we'll get a good quarterback in the draft." Nothing wrong with that, man. You match the energy in the room. Brian Peoples, what's going on, brother? Good to see you in the house. He said they had the right people at the press. Hope Arthur Blank gets well soon. That's the same thing here, man. I know there are going to be people that says, I wonder what happened. I hope it's nothing super serious. But at the same time, y'all got to remember he is 81 years old. So things that may ail other people that may seem minor, uh, truly might be uh, hurtful for him. So prayers up to him. See, Double says Raheem is like, man, come on. I know why Arthur Smith got fired. Bye bye, Desmond. Y'all are wrong, man. Rusty says, this might be an unpopular opinion. I think Arthur weaseled out of the press conference to avoid questions about not hiring Raheem 3 years ago and all the McKay stuff. Just my opinion. I'm gonna say this, Rusty. I'm not no, I don't think it's super unpopular because I tell y'all this. Arthur Blank, a lot of people dog Arthur, and I still don't get that. Arthur is flawed like the rest of us, though. Arthur, he's too passionate. Y'all remember the Falcon for Life stuff? Arthur thought y'all remember him pushing Mike Vick in the wheelchair? Arthur Blank, I don't think there was anything fake about him since he's been our owner. I think he did things thinking what he was supposed to do, thinking he was doing things to ingratiate himself to the fans. And I'm not mad at him for that. You invest billions of your dollars into an organization and a franchise, that's what's going to happen. You want to do everything in your power to let the paying folks, the folks who just got that money taken out of their account last week, to let them know that you're doing all you can to improve this team. And when you make public relations mistakes, Rusty, and I think that first press conference when Arthur Smith was fired, when it was him and Rich sitting there together, I think he didn't realize how horrible that looked. I give him and Rich credit. They answered every question. There was not a question during that almost hour and a half press conference. There was no question they dodged or ducked when they were talking about the hierarchy, when they were talking about where's Terry. They didn't duck the questions. They said, this is the hierarchy. This is how it is. This is what it is. And that came back negative. And whether it took a Bill Belichick hiring process or whatever it took, Arthur Blank is not dumb. Somebody probably told him, one, that picture didn't look good because your GM wasn't in it. And two, what is Rich McKay really doing? So I think he's learned, Rusty. And though I don't think they would be dumb enough to, I mean, it's too many people that check on stuff like that. You probably got people checking hospitals and stuff like that. And not that they can release records, but you probably got people trying to see, y'all saw Arthur Blank today, or something like that. So that would be too much, I think, to lie about it. But Larry says, I like that Coach Raheem is going to focus on being the head coach instead of having an ego that he knows more football than anyone in the room. Not talking down, no talking down to the media either, like Arthur Smith as well. Now, on February 5th, everything's good though, Larry. Everything's good. If we go into 2024 with a pretty decent schedule this year, and you start off 2-3, then we'll see. Is the feel good stuff still here? Or we go into preseason and look like junk in preseason. Then we'll see if the feel good is here. And that's fair. Ryan says the thing that stick out the most was Terry took accountability for last year and the Smith regime. He did. I like that. And congratulated Arthur on his hiring at Pittsburgh. Good for him. Ryan, he could have done that last time if the powers to be would have let him be there. But you know what I also think, Ryan, quiet as it's kept, I think at that time, they probably knew, as we're hearing a little bit of reports. I don't know, the little guy who's up in who does ESPN for Boston. I cannot remember his name. Wears the little glasses. He was saying that they had already been talking. Belichick. And I'm wondering if one of the reasons they didn't put Terry out front is because maybe they knew they possibly might be getting rid of Terry if the Belichick stuff would have come through. And that's just a theory as well, but something to think about. G says Ritter might as well try out for the UFL. Raheem is definitely not risking his second head coach opportunity with Ritter. There you go again.
Raheem doesn't love Desmond.
Man, shame on y'all, man. Shame, shame, shame. Ryan said D. Orlando Ledbetter still pissed about not being invited to the press conference. Hey, man. Hey. Did he say something about? Yeah, it was something. I know he was saying something on Twitter about that. So, hey, man, he got to figure that one out. Ron Thomas said, "What up, everybody? What's going on, brother Ron in the house?" Brian says, "Don't forget, they said most of the coaches stayed because of Coach Herm. So, what does that say about Arthur Smith as a head coach? Not a lot. Not a lot." Larry says, "Killer Mike deserved the best rap album. Straight fire." Okay. Only one I heard was the only song I heard from it was the Scientist song, the one with 3 Stacks on it. That's the only song I heard from the album. So I'm not even gonna lie. But love to celebrate the fellow Astro. Armando says Ritter might as well join us military posts. He's done in the NFL and our recruiting numbers are down. Wow. Armani's showing the love.
I love Desmond.
Here's the crazy thing, man. Desmond Ritter's gonna be around in the NFL. You listen, for all the stuff I talk about, and I'm not getting into it. I was telling people so. I had reservations about the brother last offseason, but I get it. Everybody was excited. It was a new face. It was a younger face. I get it. And there are going to be a lot of people that argue, did we really give him enough time? Did we really whatever? And that's fair. All of those are fair questions. But sometimes you can just kind of look and just get the feel. You're just saying to yourself, did Arthur Smith do that young man any favors? I don't know if he did or not. Desmond Ritter might mess around and be like Geno Smith. Might take a couple of years on the bench, learn behind some folks. Who knows? Maybe he might stay here. I don't know. It's not like he has a lot of money on the books. Excuse me. I don't even know if they're paying him $2 million this year. I don't think so. Let's spot track right quick. I don't think they're paying him that much money. So if they're not paying him that much, I think, shoot, you might as well keep him. Hold on. Trying to see real quick. Desmond Ritter this year is gonna earn $985,000. So, I mean, you really don't have to get rid of him. He does get a signing bonus of $270,000, so that'll be put it over $1 million. So it's no rush to get rid of him. G says, I didn't catch the Grammys this year. I completely forgot it was coming on. I heard that Killer Mike was arrested last night after sweeping the category. Don't understand why though. I think I saw a little bit about that, but I was going to concentrate on the positive with him. I did hear, but I know he's probably home already. But Nando, what's going on, brother? Say what's good, huh? McKay was in the cut, way off to the sideline. I did see the picture. I saw the picture of him off to the side. What's going on, King? How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Say I was hyped today. Good. I'm glad you were, brother. Retro G, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the house. Ryan said Brad put his hat on. You know what? I think I might have left before he put it on. I was laughing off. All of y'all had the hats on. He was the only one that didn't. Oh, man, coach like, which of these kids are not like the other? Connor, what's going on, man? Say, I thought he gave a good idea with the quarterback. He described what he looks for: a decisive thrower who can let it rip and play naturally. Went to describe the quarterbacks he worked with already. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. Got a super chat in the house in here in honor of Taylor Swift.
I'm just gonna shake with my super chat, super chat. Woo-hoo!
Hey, got to give love to album of the year yesterday. Abel, thank you so much. We appreciate you, brother. Thanks for supporting the channel. They said, wow, the difference between the two press conferences are night and day. Terry and Raheem are the only people I want to see up there. And Abel, again, I think as much as people don't want to admit it, but Arthur Blank is not a dummy. I think he probably said, somebody probably gave him the feedback. That wasn't a good look, Arthur. And if Terry Fontenot is your guy, he needed to be there. Win, lose, or whether he was going to be fired the next day or not, he's still your general manager. So why isn't he there on a day that the head coach is fired? It would almost be, even if Terry could have told the same story he did today. Hey, we didn't come up to snuff. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. He could have done all that at the first press conference. Why did he have to wait for this? Why? So I don't know. That was crazy to me. Appreciate you, Abel. Thank you so much, sir. Demetri says the press conference had me hyped too. We were coming for everyone next season because we want all the smoke. Absolutely. I hear you. MW, what's going on, sir? Good to see you in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, got another super chat in here. Oh, my brother Greg is in here. Thank you, sir.
She hit the super chat each day.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Greg is always one of the strongest supporters we have in here, always supporting all of the Atlanta content creators. Y'all make sure y'all support him in Greg's Custom Kicks. Greg makes the best custom-made shoes out there. Got your 2024. You got your coach coming in for a new year. Why not start off the year with some custom shoes? I'm going to get some more. Matter of fact, Greg, I'm just putting you on blast now. I want you to get ready because I need my Vegas shoes. I need my Vegas shoes for this coming road trip. So I'm putting you on notice right now, and I need you to get right because I'm gonna need my shoes for Vegas. So you already know I'm gonna come through. Y'all make sure y'all check Greg out at Greg Custom Kicks. Thank you, brother. Say, what's up, Morris interview had me want to throw my jersey, throw on my jersey and ready to play. He spoke with confidence and conviction in his interview. Rise up. I'm ready and excited for this season. And Greg being the fan that I know he is, that's what you're supposed to get after a press conference like that. That's what you're supposed to get. I think you are. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you always. So, Atlanta supporters say Arthur Blank is a ride or die person. We need more people like that. Yeah, like I said, I don't understand the hate for Arthur Blank. I don't get it. Other Arthur, I could understand. Brian said I meant him. My bad. No problem, brother. Dre Harrison, what's up, man? You're doing yourself a disservice by not listening to Killer Mike's whole album straight through. I think rap meets gospel music. I might have to check it out, Dre. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, brother. I am very all over the map in music. And when I say all over the map, I mean all over the map. So I probably need to check it out. But I've known of Mike from long time ago before when he rapped the verse on Whole Wide World, when he came back with what was the song? The one on the Mike Vick game. That was awesome. That was some awesome stuff when he did that. Got another super chat in the house.
know we appreciate super chat, talking this and that for you. And this is what we do.
We appreciate that, Kojak. Thank you so much for the support, man. Thank you for watching the channel. Say happy Black History Month. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely happy Black History Month, folks. You know, being here in Atlanta is super. Um, we definitely look at things here maybe a lot different than the rest of the country do. Being the birthplace of most of the civil rights acts down here, folks, it's a real deal. Say first Atlanta all Black coach, quarterback, coach, GM, quarterback, and fan base. Absolutely, I got you. That's that. Absolutely, Kojak is on point. He's right on point with that. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate the support, man. Appreciate all y'all's support, man. Thank y'all for always looking out for your ump. My brother Travis is in here. Travis says Desbians
I love Desmond.
can reserve that U-Haul truck for their hero. Raheem the Dream is not falling for the okie doke like Arthur Smith. Again, it's no secret.
Raheem doesn't love Desmond.
And again, for those of you who think we're kind of just messing with him, I think it's just the fact that, you know, when you don't hear his name, when you don't hear the incumbent's name, the incumbent starting quarterback in your introductory press conference, that's not good. It was almost like yesterday for the Grammys. Miley Cyrus won Record of the Year. First thing everybody's like, she didn't mention Billy Ray Cyrus, her dad, who's a popular country star back in the day. So the first thing you're thinking is, trouble in Bedrock. That's fair. Brian says, I think Ritter would be fine regardless what team he plays for. And look, he probably will. And Brian, I go back again. Arthur Smith deserves a lot of blame for this because I really feel like Desmond wasn't ready to get out there. I know we all find situations that'll fit our narrative as far as, you know, what situation you liken it to. But I'm going to do one of those things right now. You see what they did with Jordan Love? Jordan Love sat and he waited. And they had a veteran above him who could still win games, but they kept him and they waited. So now, when you go back and look at that number one pick, people questioning it before, now they're like, oh, Green Bay is genius. They let that man sit and wait, and now he came out, and now he's good. So sometimes that's what you have to do. And I think Arthur Smith stunted that man. He stunted that man's growth. And I do blame him for that. My brother from the eye test is in here, John Harris. Give him the long one.
Appreciate the super chat, chat. Appreciate your super chat, chat. We're gonna show you a good thing.
My brother John Harris doing his thing in the eye test. He says, in hindsight, Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot left some good pieces for Raheem Morris. I told y'all that snake wasn't dead. Why was McKay hiding and peeping? Pterodactyl head sponge. Well, listen, he's not out of the organization, John. He's in a different hierarchy now. He's still over at Mercedes-Benz, which means he's still going to have affiliation. Do you think Raheem, did you hear Raheem sprinkle him with praise? He hired him in Tampa Bay. Folks, I got bad news for you. Raheem is not going to avoid talking to Rich McKay. If you're going to hear something later on, Raheem is going to say, yeah, I talked to Rich McKay about that. And then he'll, wait a minute, they said Rich McKay's out. Dude, he's not in the hierarchy, but he's going to lean on him for stuff. Get ready. Get ready, y'all. Sean J, what's going on, man? Said, what's good, Unc? Great show. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ritter being a sprained ankle or two away from taking a snap might be too much for me. Yeah. Look, I think they're gonna redo the whole thing, man. Sean, I think they're gonna do the whole thing over with. I think you're gonna see them bring in. This is what and this is my opinion. You're either gonna do two different scenarios. The Justin Fields scenario, I think that's legit. I think if you trade for him and bring in, I don't think you could have Ritter underneath Fields. In my opinion, I think you bring in another backup, another guy. I wouldn't mind bringing Jacoby Brissett. I wouldn't mind bringing in. I know Gardner Minshew is probably going to be uh, asking for money for probably a lower tier team, but I wouldn't mind that. And I also wouldn't mind the idea of maybe going out and drafting uh, one of these top three quarterbacks, which means we would have to trade up. Yes, that would be an option. But also reaching out to Russell Wilson once they figure out that little situation with Denver. He's not going to be with Denver long. They're going to let him go. And then figuring out, hey, can I give him a 2-year deal with some escalators to say, hey, if uh Williams, Jaden Daniels, or Drake May isn't ready day one, Russell Wilson, you're going to be the guy with the caveat that you might get sat down during the year in order to get our number one pick out there. None of that would shock me. None of that would shock me if they did that. But I'm open for other stuff too. I am. I'm riding no matter what the decision is made. I'm going to ride one way or the other. Artavius, what's up, brother? Said they put McKay at the kids' table. Like our parents used to do it. We had we had the little table, man, when both of them were young, my son and daughter, the little mini table, and they would be right there on the side. Oh man, you wrong for that. You wrong. Rusty said, "What was the real reason D-Led wasn't there?" I think it really was. It was something about he said it on Twitter, but don't get me wrong. Somebody might be able to shed some light. But I know he was ticked off that they moved it to this particular time. Um, but somebody come in. I don't have my Twitter readily up and available, but he tweeted about when they made the announcement that it was going to be today, that he was kind of ticked off about that. So I don't know exactly what it is, but whatever it was, it had him fired up. Dwayne, what's going on, sir? Say, I'm going to hold my excitement for after the draft in the offseason. Fair enough. Fair enough. Dre says, Morris seems like the right hire. I believe he has learned from his past experience, and he just might lead these Falcons to the promised land. That's the hope, brother. That's the hope. What's up, Chris? Chris says, I like him. I was a little unsure when we first signed Raheem, but now after listening to his press conference and interview, I believe he is our guy. Chris, and I remember when you were saying that, and it's fair. Chris, there's no shame in that, dude. There are some people who probably not crazy about how this went today. There probably are. You're never gonna win 100% of the people, but I'm pretty sure if somebody for the Falcons saw this comment, they would probably say, "Oh man, that was a good thing, brother." William Amy in the house. What's going on, William? How you doing, brother? Good to see. Good to see y'all. Dixon Way put his link in the chat, Steve, for custom kit. You know what? Greg, yeah, Greg has it down there. Yeah. Greg, put your link in there, brother. Y'all acting like I'm proficient in all this stuff right here. I got to learn how to do that stuff, man. Don't we put pressure on me, Larry. You got help. Kojak back in the house. Appreciate.
We appreciate super chat, talking this and that for you. And this is what we do.
Kojak says, "Hey, cool frames. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Let's talk Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, or Jaden Daniels. Which do you prefer, especially with 2 second rounders now?" If you asked me now, and I'm going to give you my reasons. If I want to think, here's the thing. First, in order for me to finish this conversation, please everybody understand that I think the Falcons are a competent quarterback away from going to the playoffs. Let's start there. I think this team as constructed, and of course they're going to make some changes this year. I think the team we had last season was a competent quarterback away from the playoffs. So I'll start there. My first choice would be to get Jaden Daniels and bring in hopefully Russell Wilson. That would be my first choice. It gives you two things. You get Russell Wilson as an experienced, winning Super Bowl quarterback who has played at MVP levels at times. And you would have Jaden Daniels, who I think will eventually be a good quarterback, but I'm not sure whether it wouldn't be a bad idea for him to sit behind somebody like Russell and learn. That would be my first ideal situation. Because I think either way, you probably going to squeeze two more wins and win at least 9. My second situation would be Justin Fields. The reason why I want Justin Fields, and I know everybody's going to say, well, Justin Fields has only won 11 games and blah, 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 blah. Folks, if Justin Fields was on this Atlanta team, just like maybe 15 to 20 other quarterbacks in the NFL, I think this team would win. I'm not looking to get Patrick Mahomes on this team. I'm looking to get a competent quarterback on the team to run the offense. That's what I'm looking for as far as that's concerned. So that would be the order I would go in, Kojak. And appreciate you as always, man. Thank you so much. Matt Town, I think I say hey to you, brother. Appreciate you. Dixon Wade says 79 people. Woo, 79. Thank you, Jesus. Y'all appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. Only 39 likes. 39 likes. Y'all make sure y'all put the like button for me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I do appreciate everyone coming in and joining us, especially on a Monday, man. It's like the lamest day of the week. But the fact that y'all come in and join me regularly, that's really cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. RJ Falcon is here. What's going on, sir? Say, Unc, I just want to say thank you for your great work, man. Always respect and appreciation for your podcast. Thank you, RJ. I mean, for real, I really do appreciate that. Thank you, man. That's better than anything to get a compliment like that. Thank you. Brian People says I completely agree with you. Arthur definitely set him up for failure. He did, Brian. He did. He really did. As much as, if you think about it, everybody took their frustration out on Ritter. And again, if you play that position of quarterback, you gotta be Teflon. Because the arrows are gonna come. There were arrows at Patrick Mahomes midway through this season. Everybody's gonna get arrows. Lamar Jackson got arrows. He's still healing from the arrows he got from last week's performance. So it's a position that you gotta be ready for. And Arthur didn't prepare him for that. So fair for us to say Ritter didn't do well, absolutely. But even more responsible was Arthur Smith. Sean says, John Harris is a genius. Oh, man. Armani says he better use that Princeton business degree for some good, Rich McKay. Hey, man, look, Rich ain't worried. Rich laughing at everybody, man. Rich say, man, I'm paid. Rich say, I am paid. I'm not worried about none of y'all. I hope that's K or Kai. Why y'all want Justin so bad? It's not about wanting Justin so bad. We're thinking about our situation. Think about this. Justin Fields comes to this team. You're going to pay him about $9 million. Matter of fact, let's go look officially. You're going to pay him about $9 million off his last off the contract he has now. And then his 5th year, he'll probably get something like now you're not going to pay him $9 million. Let me show you how much you're going to pay him this year. This year, Justin Fields is due $6 million. He's going to get a base salary of 1.6, signing bonus, which I don't know. They might have paid that signing bonus, so you may only end up paying about $3 to $4 million this year. Now, They haven't done his 5th-year option yet. His 5th-year option is gonna be somewhere in the 20-22 million range. That's still super cheap for someone who's only been in the league 4 to 5 years. So, Kai, it's not about playing Justin Field is the savior guy. It's about let me get somebody in there who's more competent than anything we've had the last 2 seasons and see if we can work it out. Does it hurt that he's from here and he might feel more comfortable here and maybe that could stir up some things here in the fan base with some of his family, some of the folks from UGA who thought he got screwed. Maybe those people will show up and stay. Maybe so. But this is strictly business when you start talking about that. He's somebody that in this particular situation with Chicago having a number 1 pick and they might want to go Caleb Williams. It's something to think about. They'll have to get rid of Justin. They're not going to have Caleb Williams and Justin Fields on the same squad. They're not. So don't look at it so much as oh man, we're starving for Justin. Don't, it's not like that. It's like, yeah, that might be a good move for this particular team at this time. And guess what? If it doesn't work out, you can let him go after 2 years. And you don't have to invest that much in him. So that's why. But again, that's not even my number 1 option. Carlos says Brissett ain't bad. Brissett ain't bad at all. He kept getting the shaft because teams was going the other. What does it say? Going the other way. I'm probably messing up there, Carlos. Sorry about that, brother. Antoine, Octavia says your super chat music is giving me life. I appreciate that, brother. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lisa. I always appreciate that. Lisa said Ledbetter is in Vegas for the Super Bowl. So that's what it was. Appreciate it. My brother Tony in the house. What's going on, brother? He said, and Fields would definitely put butts in the seats. Again, it's about business too, man. We can sit here all day and talk about, yeah, we need a quarterback in here. Yeah, we need somebody to come say, but it's also a business too. There'll be no doubt that Justin will probably get some folks who saw him dominate in high school and make things good in here. It was no doubt. Slim Dollar says Atlanta, it will be extremely slim to is extremely none for the Falcons to get the top 3 quarterbacks in this year's draft unless you're willing to trade a king's ransom, and Atlanta fans are extreme pity pitchers. But you never know. Maybe they're not after this year, though. You never know. You never know. Kai says Justin competing. He says Justin competent. Hey, he's competent. Oh, yeah. I mean, what do you expect me to say? He's a top 5 quarterback with. Of course, he's competent. So I'm assuming you think the guy here is competent,
I love Desmond.
or Taylor Heineke is competent, or Marcus Mariota is competent. Nobody's trying to make Justin Fields a savior. I'm saying I'm trying to get somebody who's going to be cheaper and somebody who, again, you got to think 3-dimensionally, brothers. Think a little bit outside the box. Somebody that you can get rid of if it doesn't work out. Just like we got rid of Mariota. Just like we'll probably end up getting rid of Taylor Heineke. Long term, you're not going to be paying Justin Fields a lot of money this coming year if you were to trade here. And if he doesn't work, you let him go and try again. That's what I'm saying. I mean, unless you got a different plan, I mean, but to each his own. Travis says they put McKay at the kiddie table like Victor Sweet did. Look, oh boy and 4 brothers. Oh yeah, I remember that movie. Philip was in the house. What's going on, Philip? Say I'm late. What did you take away from the coach's comments about the quarterback situation? Oh, I was on that. I think he was trying not to give away to his whole game plan. and which is smart, super smart, super smart. Nando, appreciate you, brother. He says, y'all hit that like button for Uncle Steve. Thank you so much. A King in the house. What's going on, sir? I, oh, man, appreciate you, brother. Say, boom, rise up. Appreciate you. WCG said, just because Ritter wasn't capable of starting in year one doesn't mean a quarterback worthy of a first round pick isn't. It's all about the talent. True. That's true. Uh, let's see. Hold on. Wynn says, what do you think about the report that came from Doc Kleeman that a GM at the Super Bowl said Variable didn't get hired due to his physical stature being intimidated to front office people? I think that was somebody trying to find something to write. Yes. I guess at the end of the day. Kay says, you're investing in him by trading for him. That makes no sense. Brother, it makes no sense to you, man. I mean, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want, brother. I mean, if you disagree with me, you disagree. More power to you. You ain't gonna get. You're not gonna get anybody acting crazy about that. I mean, what's your plan, my friend? What's your plan? You give me a plan, and it sounds like it'll work. Let's see what you think. I don't know. These are what they call opinions. So if you're not ready for opinions, it's probably not the place for you. Matt Down Dirty says, I'm interested to see which veterans want to play for Morris. Well, according to most people, sounds like he's a popular guy, so we'll see. We'll see. The word is a lot of the players around the league like him. WCG says, use the money you save with a cheap backup behind him to build other areas of the team because you're not winning in the playoffs without a franchise quarterback. That's true. This is why I said my first choice, for those of you who didn't come in, is to try to draft your franchise quarterback. Now, everybody's saying King's ransom, but it depends on how you want to invest. Folks, we have really not even including the last 2 years of Matt Ryan, we haven't had decent quarterback play in a long time here in Atlanta. And for a football team to not have good quarterback play for, I would say 4 years now, that's a little too long. So yeah, I wouldn't mind investing in another quarterback as well. Facebook user said, who is the guy sitting all the way to the left? Greg Beatles. He's the president of the Falcons. Kai says, no, I'm not for none of those guys. He said, I'd rather draft. Okay, so again, I kind of said, I don't know whether you were sitting there watching. I said that was my first choice. So maybe you kind of came in on the end where you thought I was making a birthday cake for Justin Fields. Trust me, I wasn't. But I actually said draft would be the first choice. Kenzel, what's up, brother? Said, what's up, Uncle Steve? Now the Bird Gang might think that I'm on the moonshine, but let Fields alone and stay with the process and pick the top pass rushers or receivers at 8. Pick them, move up for Michael Penix and their quarterback from Michigan, then find a quarterback in free agency. Now, Michael Penix would work out to me if you got a veteran quarterback that you know is going to be in your system for at least 2 to 3 years. That's what scares me about the Kirk Cousins thing. I can't invest in Cousins because I feel like Cousins coming off that surgery and they're talking about his people want $45 million a year. I'm not doing that. The Russell Wilson thing is super intriguing, but that could be something that work. Get Russell in here for 2 years, possibly. Draft your Michael Penix or JJ McCarthy. I know a lot of people. I don't know. JJ played okay, but JJ didn't have to pass the ball a whole lot in Michigan. I'm really interested to see how he is because he just gave the ball off to old boy and who ran the ball all crazy, like crazy this year. All right, got 2 super chats in the house. Gonna go to the first one here.
She hit the super chat each day.
That's my boy Kojak again. Thank you, my friend. They say two things. Please listen to the Killer Mike album. You know what? I am going to listen to it in its entirety. Masterpiece. Let's talk about our pass rush. Yeah. We do need to address, as Kenzel was talking about, we do need to address the pass rush in here. You're absolutely right. And my brother Greg is in here again. But Greg,
I'm just gonna shake with my super chat. Woo-hoo!
Greg says, good QBs ain't cheap and cheap QBs ain't good. See Mario, my brother, you are right on point. Thank both of y'all. Thank y'all so much again. Appreciate y'all supporting. Tony says, I can see the Daniels Pitts connection all season. They will become the modern day TB. Can't say his name. Oh, yeah. Captain America and Gronk. Antoine, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Thank you for joining us in here at Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, as y'all coming in, make sure y'all like the video. We appreciate all of the folks in here tonight. Y'all have been awesome talking about this presser today. Kelvin is here. Kelvin says, I don't know, Scott Kennedy's draft had Jaden Daniels sliding to number 11, but you never know. But Daniels or any other rookie quarterback, I think it would be best to sit a year. What about Tyrod Taylor? Now, I know there are some people that think he might slide. Here's the problem. You have Denver. I've said this a few times. You have Denver, Minnesota, and the Raiders, who are right behind us in the draft, all need quarterbacks. Man, if somebody let Jaden slide in the draft, I can see those guys trying to jump over us. And when you think about Arizona, think about Tennessee, the Chargers, those teams that already have quarterbacks in place, man, they might make a deal like that, especially if it's sweet. So Tyrod Taylor is not bad. I don't think he would be bad, but I keep feeling like we're gonna keep kicking this can down the road instead of stopping like we should have done in 21 and getting our quarterback. I just don't think you can keep ignoring it. We got to at some point stop. Slim says the bottom line is whoever is about to be the quarterback, unless they get Penix, that quarterback is about to get paid to be here long term. You can't keep kicking the can. Okay, I swear I didn't see that. Kicking the can down the road. Bills makes the most sense right now. Great minds think alike, brother. That's exactly what I'm exactly. Tony says Morris is one of the most respected coaches in the league. Did you see what Tomlin had to say? Yes, sir. Tomlin, McVay, Les Snead, man, everyone is coming out just so happy about Raheem's hiring, which should make us feel good. But again, I just caution to say it's all great, but Raheem got to back it up. Not saying sometimes you got people that can talk their way into stuff, into us believing. I just want to see the results on the field. As a long-standing Falcon fan, my biggest thing is we do a lot of talking. Let's put the thing on the field. Bags is here. What's up, Bags? Said Raheem was very well spoken and knowledgeable, though it seems some of the media still didn't care or want him there. Shaking my head. I believe in him wholeheartedly. Rise up. Bags, at this point, who cares about the media, brother? It's about the fans at this point. Fans rally behind him. I think he's going to be fine. I really do. Gibson Cusack, what's on? How you doing? Said, what about Russell Wilson and trade for Herndon Hooker in Detroit? Somebody else brought his name up too. And y'all remember he was hurt coming into the season. And homeboy, if he didn't get hurt, oh my goodness. But I don't think they're gonna get rid of him as good of a year as Golf had in Detroit. Oh, the future is bright in Detroit, man. They could slide Hooker right there. And again, he's getting a chance to take his time, develop, do what he needs to do. while golf is still doing this thing, dude. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna just give him away like that. Uh, uh, let's see. Rodney says, y'all are funny. Look at Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. Nothing wrong with getting a vet and drafting a quarterback. Absolutely not. WCG says, I am okay with Fields if the Bears will take a second round pick for him, but no, oh no. I don't think any projection has them. Now, you might end up giving like a second round and maybe something in 25, but no, nobody's giving a first round pick for Justin Fields. Not even close. Facebook user says Pennis got a significant injury history we better be prepared for. Yeah, everybody's saying that, and that's legit. Uh, Dude, every quarterback is an injury away. I just finished mentioning Herndon Hooker was about to get drafted in the top 10. Easy. Easy. He was about to get drafted into the top 10 last year before he tore his ACL. Easy. Y'all remember how he was balling out for Tennessee? Remember how he tore up Alabama? Easily was about to get drafted top 10. So, as much as I hear you, that's everybody. Everybody. Uh, Kai says, no, I was just having combo about Justin. I know you don't want him. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But again, though, that's the beauty of this thing. Nobody knows. And we could throw all this stuff, especially in off season. That's the great thing. We throw all this stuff up against the wall. Until they actually do it, we all guessing. They might have a whole new, they might have a whole different plan and come up here and say, we want to introduce our new starting quarterback for 2024.
I love Desmond.
Desmond Ritter. Just kidding. Facebook user says Pitts got good trade back. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. Now, that's a reason why they may not have mentioned his name today. Bag says, I'd rather us draft Daniels or Penix, keep our picks, and build towards the future. Wouldn't mind Fields. I think he's a good quarterback, but what would it truly cost? Again, trading for him is not going to cost you a lot. That's why I was saying, even if you took a chance of changing the scenery for him and seeing if that helped, it's not going to kill you in 2024. And guess what? As I was talking about with draft picks, you're not giving away a first rounder. You're still not spending money per se. And you got to, they're going to cut Heineke. So the money that you're going to save on Heineke, you basically slot Fields in. Then you're still able to do what you do with your free agent money. Still continue to build that defensive line. Maybe go out and get that mega pass rusher. Not mega, but somebody better. I've been pumping the horn for Brian Burns. I would love to see him back home doing this thing if the Panthers don't franchise him. But we'll see. Facebook user says he ain't sliding. Talking about Jaden. Probably not. Gibson said the same thing about Herndon Hooker. Again, I don't think Detroit's gonna give. Again, Golf had a nice year. I think you hold tight to Herndon for a little bit just to see what happens. Facebook user says we are drafting Brock Powers, sounded Carson Wentz, and drafting Spencer Rattler, the MVP of the Senior Bowl. Yeah, man. This fan base don't need that, man. Kenzel says, "Hey, was it me or did Raheem Morris and our GM, Mr. Terry Fontenot, have great chemistry doing the press call?" Oh, brother, it was electric. It's like two buddies. I love it. I love it. Larry says, if Fields costs a second rounder, I would do it, but I wouldn't give up first round for him. No. Also, if Jaden Daniels slides to the fourth pick, the Falcons have to jump up to get him. If not, draft Turner or Verse. And I like Turner. I know a lot of people were real high on Jared Verse as well. Dallas Turner seems like he has the motor to. And then the other boy, what's the cornerback's name that I saw everybody's talking about? I gotta find out what his name is. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not the draft guru and things like that. I usually get some help with that. Coach had said we play Tomlin this year. That's right. We do. Play him here. Facebook user says folks was happy about Arthur Smith too. Thought it was a slam dunk hire. Coaching hires are a crapshoot. Absolutely 100% agree. I will say I don't think people were as ecstatic about him, but you're right. There were people that were trying to talk us into thinking he was going to be this Kyle Shanahan clone or something like that. You're absolutely right. James, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Philip says, I know this quarterback talk is in, but what free agents do you think will follow Raheem Morris to make this defense tighter than Fort Knox? I actually looked at the Rams free agent list, and it did not look very promising from the guys who might be following him in. Look at it one more time, right quick. Los Angeles Rams, and then the free agents. They're free agents right now. Demarcus Robinson, Troy Reader, linebacker. Who else? John Johnson, safety. I said Carson Wentz. I know y'all ain't want none of him. Jonah Wilson. Not a lot of names from there, but I guarantee you, I bet you a couple of those guys make their way here. WCG says Penix is going to be 24 before he plays an NFL game, and if he isn't ready from day one, write it down. He isn't a good NFL starter. Okay. Kai said, would you send a third to fifth to Dallas for Trey? Trey is intriguing to me. You know why? Because he really, truly didn't get his shot. He played at the end of his rookie year, if y'all remember. He played the 1 or 2 games. And then he got hurt the next year when he was tapped to be the starter going into the year. And they had to beg Jimmy G to come back. So, and he really hasn't played. So, this is a good question from you. Because what you want to ask yourself is from 21 to now, has he developed? Has he learned? Because judging by his draft status at number 3 overall, a lot of people thought he had the skills to do what he needed to do. So I would look, what did Dallas get for him? A third or fourth? I would probably look more of the 5th round, possibly. That could be that. If Dallas is willing to part, maybe. But remember, Dallas got to pay. They got to figure out Dak Prescott. Dak is due $59 million this year, which means they're going to have to extend him or find a team to trade for. So they might not be ready. They might not be in the Trey Lance give up quite yet. Kelvin says, but Fields' talk could be null and void if the Bears front office is worth their salt. They're taking a long look at Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, and again, we got about a month or so before we truly start talking about a lot of this stuff. And this is going to be, Chicago basically is running the front of the draft. They're basically running the front. And I think they love it too, because they can take any deals they want to. Because they still got the number 9 pick. It's not like they don't have another top 10 pick. They might not be able to get Marvin Harrison, but they should be able to stockpile some picks. Facebook user says, hold for Shadur Sanders. Just kidding, or am I? I like Shadur, y'all, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm a hold for him, though. Nah. Coach, what's going on, brother? Coach Kevin says, ain't it something if they don't move on from Ritter and go and get another quarterback in the draft and Desmond Ritter ends up winning the job, man, this fan base would turn over in their graves. Kevin, it would be you talk about an anticlimactic preseason. These fans would not be happy. Not at all. Dre says, why not sign Russ for a max of 2 years, then draft whatever quarterbacks fall to us? You didn't hear me probably earlier, Dre. That's exactly the scenario I said. If you're able to get a quarterback, and Dre, I'll even throw a caveat in there to say, even if Michael Penix, you're able to even get him. If you bring Russell Wilson in here, Russell Wilson got news for you. At one point, when after the 70-point drubbing, which is not Russell Wilson's fault that his defense gave up 70, but after that drubbing, Russell Wilson actually had a nice year this year. So I don't know. I would still take a flyer on him. Bag says, in what round do you think we'll take a wide receiver? Because we definitely need 2 or 3 more, maybe even a free agent. But we have to address the wide receiver position. Yeah, no more of these fringe second rounds. I'm gonna tell you what, Bags. I wouldn't mind taking a look at Boyd from Cincinnati. Higgins is gonna be too much money, but I would not mind taking a look at Boyd to see what he's got. He's probably gonna ask for about 10 plus, but you do need that second receiver. I was actually talking about somebody else too. Uh, look, Jacksonville already owe us a third rounder. Everybody who was here during the Calvin Ridley mental breakdown stuff is gone. Head coach is gone. All the quarterbacks is gone. The coaching staff, all of those factors are gone. Only one here is Terry Fontenot. All those cats are gone now. So why not take a chance on him? You never know. We'll see. Wallace says, what's going on with you? Nothing much, my friend. T. Terry says Morris talks and smiles like Denzel on training day. Yeah, he's gonna get. You're gonna see a lot of Denzel Raheem stuff today. You're gonna see a lot of memes on that. Facebook user says Morris doesn't get the quarterback job right, he's gonna lose confidence. Absolutely, or the fan base will lose confidence. True. Kai says good camp body. Whoever we draft him, Desmond and our new pick can battle. That could be something. I'm not sure. Listen, and I understand this unnatural attraction I think people have for Desmond Ritter. He's the underdog. He's kind of a kid that the Cincinnati college he came from. So people, a little scrappy, got a little fight in them and stuff like that. Folks, you're not gonna win with Desmond Ritter as the quarterback for this team next year. You can put him on the bench and do like they did Heineke and say he will be the backup quarterback, but you can't throw him in that battle. You're gonna bring 2 more people in here to battle for that position and let the chips fall where they may. I I I don't see a world where you're gonna trot out Ritter number 9 out of that Falcon tunnel and not have every piece of food, beer can, bottle, flags, napkins, mustard, ketchup thrown at him. So I just don't see it. God bless you for having faith in him. But I think, as I've been saying all along,
Raheem doesn't love Desmond.
and I think if he did, he would have mentioned him today. But I appreciate you, brother, coming into the chat, man. That's some good talk. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I don't like all the time. Sometimes when everybody just agrees with you, I love the fact that people have different opinions. So I appreciate you today being that person today, and please come back next time because yeah, sometimes you need to mix it up because my ideas aren't always right. The majority isn't always right. This the great thing about the unknown is there are plenty of opinions, and we're going to be chewing on them in February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Got a long time till we kick this thing off. But today was a good start. Great presser from Raheem. Appreciate everyone joining us today on the Monday Minutia. It's been great. We went over about 30 minutes, but we had some good talking here. As you're going out, please, if you don't mind, if you haven't liked the video, please like it for me. Whether you're on Facebook, especially if you're on Uncle Steve's Lounge, I appreciate all the support today. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. Let's get to 2,000 this year, y'all. 2,000 subs. That's the goal by the time the season starts. Want everyone to have a great Monday. Catch us on Friday. Friday, we will be here for the Friday brunch. Until then, everyone have a great week. We'll see you then. Peace.